Hey everyone, welcome back to Innovative Discover. If you're fascinated by true crime, mysterious disappearances, and baffling cases, then you're in the right place. Today we're diving deep into some of the most chilling and puzzling unsolved mysteries in the United States. Despite advances in technology and forensic science, there are cases that have left the investigators and the public scratching their heads for decades. From unexplained disappearances to strange and eerie events, these mysteries continue to captivate people all over the world. In this video, we'll explore some of the most perplexing unsolved cases that have stood the test of time. You'll hear stories that are not just about crime, but about the unknown. Cases that spark curiosity, fear, and endless speculation. Before we start the video, if you are new on channel, then please first subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon, thanks. Story 1. The Disappearance of Maura Murray. Our first mystery takes us back to a cold February day in 2004, a case that still haunts internet detectives and true crime enthusiasts to this day. This is the baffling disappearance of Maura Murray. It was February 9th, 2004. Maura Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, emailed her professors saying she was taking a week off due to a death in the family. That, however, was a lie. No one in her family had passed away. She packed her belongings, withdrew money from her bank account, and began driving north toward the White Mountains of New Hampshire. But what was she running from, or running toward? No one knows for sure. Later that evening, Maura's car was found crashed on a rural road in Haverhill, New Hampshire. A local resident called 911, but by the time police arrived, just minutes later, Maura was gone. No sign of her in the woods, no footprints, and no calls from her phone ever again. Police initially believed she may have run away, but her family insisted otherwise. Over the years, theories exploded online. Was she abducted? Did she stage her disappearance? Or did something far more sinister happen that night? Despite countless searches, national media coverage, and even a podcast series dedicated to her story, Maura Murray has never been found. No solid evidence, no confirmed sightings, just questions that grow colder with time. The disappearance of Maura Murray remains one of America's most confounding cold cases, a mystery that continues to baffle investigators even 2 decades later. But hers is just one of many chilling stories. Let's move on to the next unsolved mystery. Story 2. The Mysterious Death of Elisa Lam. Our next mystery takes us to downtown Los Angeles, to a place with a dark and disturbing history. In 2013, the bizarre and tragic case of Elisa Lam stunned the world and raised more questions than answers. 21-year-old Elisa Lam was a college student from Vancouver, Canada, who decided to take a solo trip to California. She checked into the infamous Cecil Hotel, a place known for its eerie past, linked to crime, death, and even serial killers. On January 31st, 2013, Elisa vanished without a trace. A few days later, the LAPD released chilling elevator surveillance footage, and it went viral. In the video, Elisa is seen behaving strangely, pushing multiple elevator buttons, hiding in the corner, peeking out as if someone was following her, and making strange hand gestures. For weeks, there was no sign of Elisa, until hotel guests began complaining about water pressure and a strange taste. Maintenance workers checked the rooftop water tanks and found her body floating inside, naked, with her clothes nearby. How did Elisa get into a locked water tank on the roof? The rooftop door was alarmed. The tank was heavy, difficult to access, and had no sign of forced entry. The autopsy ruled out drugs or alcohol, and there were no signs of foul play. The official cause? Accidental drowning due to bipolar disorder. But the internet wasn't convinced. Many believe something or someone else was involved. Was she followed? Was there paranormal activity? Or was there a hotel cover-up? To this day, her behavior in that elevator and how she ended up in the water tank remain unexplained. The Elisa Lam case is a haunting blend of real-life horror and unexplained mystery, one that continues to capture the imagination of millions. But as strange as this was, our next mystery might be even more chilling. Story 3. The Disappearance of D.B. Cooper. Next up is a case that's become the stuff of legends, a daring mid-air heist that ends in a parachute jump, and a vanishing act that has puzzled the FBI for over 50 years. This is the story of the mysterious man known only as D.B. Cooper. On November 24th, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving, a man using the alias Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle. He was dressed in a business, calm and polite. But shortly after takeoff, he handed a note to a flight attendant. The note read, "I have a bomb." Cooper demanded $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready in Seattle. The airline and authorities complied. Once the plane landed in Seattle, he released the 36 passengers in exchange for the money and parachutes, keeping only the flight crew on board. With his ransom in hand, Cooper instructed the pilots to take off again, this time heading toward Mexico City at low altitude and slow speed. Somewhere over the dense forests of southwestern Washington, he opened the rear staircase of the Boeing 727 and jumped into the dark, stormy night, never to be seen again. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history. Dozens of suspects were questioned, but none confirmed. In 1980, a boy found $5,800 in decaying $20 bills, confirmed to be part of Cooper's ransom, buried near the Columbia River. But no other trace of Cooper, his parachute, or the rest of the money was ever found. Who was D.B. Cooper? Some believe he died in the jump. Others think he escaped and lived a quiet life, watching the world obsess over his story. Over the decades, the case has sparked books, documentaries, conspiracy theories, and endless speculation. D.B. Cooper pulled off one of the boldest crimes in American history, and left behind a trail of mystery that may never be solved. But he's not the only one to vanish without a trace. Coming up next, we dive into another chilling case that defies logic and leaves investigators stumped. Story 4. The Boy in the Box. Our next mystery is one of the oldest unsolved child murder cases in American history. A heartbreaking story that haunted Philadelphia for more than 60 years. It's the tragic and eerie case of the Boy in the Box. On February 25, 1957, a young man walking through a wooded area in Fox Chase, Philadelphia, made a chilling discovery. Inside a discarded cardboard box, once used for a baby bassinet, was the body of a little boy, wrapped in a flannel blanket. The child was estimated to be around 4 to 6 years old. He was severely malnourished, had bruises all over his body, and his hair had been recently cut, possibly after death. There were no identifying marks, no name, and no missing child report that matched his description. Police launched an extensive investigation. Posters were placed across the city. Thousands of flyers were distributed, and the boy's fingerprints were taken. But no one came forward. He was buried under a gravestone that read simply, "America's Unknown Child." Over the decades, many theories emerged. Some believed he was the victim of an illegal adoption gone wrong. Others thought he was abused and abandoned by his family. In the early 2000s, a woman known as M came forward, claiming her abusive mother had bought the boy and killed him. But her story couldn't be verified. Over the decades, many theories emerged. Some believed he was the victim of an illegal adoption gone wrong. Others thought he was abused and abandoned by his family. In the early 2000s, a woman known as M came forward, claiming her abusive mother had bought the boy and killed him. But her story couldn't be verified. In 2022, after decades of dead ends, modern DNA technology finally gave the boy a name, Joseph Augustus Zarelli. He was identified through genealogy databases, but despite finally learning his identity, how he died, and who killed him, remains a mystery. The boy in the box now has a name, but justice has yet to be served. His case reminds us that behind every mystery is a life, one that deserves answers. And as we move on, the next mystery is just as dark and just as unsolved. Story 5. The Death of Kendrick Johnson. Our final mystery is a modern case that shocked the nation. A teenager found dead inside his high school in a way that defied logic and raised serious questions about justice. This is the controversial and still unsolved case of Kendrick Johnson. On January 11, 2013, 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson was found dead inside a rolled-up gym mat at Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia. His body was discovered head-first in the center of the mat, with his feet sticking out from the top. Authorities quickly ruled Kendrick's death an accident. According to the official story, Kendrick had dropped a shoe inside the mat, and while trying to retrieve it, got stuck and suffocated. But his family, and many others, never accepted that explanation. Things took a darker turn when an independent autopsy, ordered by Kendrick's parents, found signs of blunt force trauma to his neck, a detail not mentioned in the original report. Even more disturbing, Kendrick's organs were missing, and his body had been stuffed with newspaper before burial. The school's surveillance footage also raised eyebrows. Key moments were missing or blurred. Footage that could have shown who entered the gym around the time of Kendrick's death was incomplete, edited, or simply unavailable. The case drew national media coverage and demands for federal investigation. Rumors of a cover-up involving students from powerful families fueled public outrage. But even after reopening the case multiple times, authorities have still not charged anyone. The death of Kendrick Johnson remains a painful and polarizing mystery, one where the truth may be buried beneath layers of silence, power, and unanswered questions. And just like the other stories we've covered, it stands as a reminder: not all crimes end with justice, and not all mysteries are meant to be solved. If this video made you think, shocked you, or even gave you chills, then don't forget to hit that like button. Drop a comment and let me know which of those cases disturbed you the most, or if you've heard of a mystery that deserves to be in the next video. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. we explore the darkest corners of crime, mystery, and the human mind. So hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because the next video is going to take you even deeper into the unknown.